Kate, I did read that you wanted to be in the film as soon as you heard about it.
Yes.
I wonder if you would mind telling me that and perhaps telling me why that was.
Well, I love telling this story, and it will be clear to you why I wanted to be in the film. So I was filming another film called The Dressmaker in Australia, which is a black comedy, and the woman who was doing the hair and makeup on that film is someone I've worked with several times since 2008. Her name is Ivana Primorak. She's a brilliant hair and makeup artist. And we were coming towards the end of that shoot, and so we were chit-chatting about what she was going to be doing next. And we're in the outback in a hair and makeup trailer in the middle of nowhere at 6 a.m. And she says, "Oh, it's really exciting. I've had some emails overnight from Scott Rudin, who's one of our producers on the Steve Jobs film. And I think I'm going to do the hair and makeup design on this Steve Jobs movie that Danny Boyle's directing." I said, "Wow, oh my God, wow." I said, "Hang on, I think I've heard about that." She said, "Oh yes, it's changed hands, different director once before, and a couple of different actors were going to do it. Anyway, now it's Michael Fassbender." I said, "Oh my God, who wrote the script?" "Aaron Sorkin." I'm going, "Oh my God. Well, hang on. Well, what's the girl's part?" And she went, oh, Kate. Oh my God. Oh, we have to get you the script. So then we sort of started to cook up this whole idea of how we were going to make this happen. And it just occurred to me that the description of the role, Joanna Hoffman, that I play in the film, she is an Eastern European woman with short dark hair and glasses. So perhaps it was a little hard for the powers that be to imagine the idea of me playing this role, because often I'm seen as the kind of curvy blonde. So I thought, well, shame on you. So what I did was I put a short dark haired wig on myself and cleaned my face of all makeup, and I took one photo and I sent it to the producer, Scott Rudin, who I've known for some years anyway. And then Danny Boyle flew down to Melbourne, and I read the script, and we had a great meeting, and I said to him, "Listen, this is how I would play this role." And I also said to him that it would be very important that I disappeared into the character, and hopefully we could pull off being unrecognisable and no one would necessarily know that it was me. And I don't think I do look anything like myself in this film. And that was my plan. So that was why I wanted to be in it. I knew that it would be creatively really challenging and very unique experience, which it 100% was. It's written in 3 acts. I know I'm giving you 7 answers to your one question, but trust me, this is the best interview you've ever had. It's written in 3 acts, and each act takes place in a different year, so 84, 88, and 98. And that, as actors, was an amazing experience because we really had to rehearse like a play, learn it, stage it 100% into the ground before walking onto set and then shooting it under Danny's brilliant guidance. And it was very different. No, films aren't normally made that way. And it was shot in chronological order. Again, that never happens either. And it was a completely extraordinary and utterly terrifying experience for all of us.
Well, you say utterly terrifying. I can imagine it being... Anyway, I didn't recognise you to begin with in the film, even though I knew you were in it.
Yes.
But yeah, tell me how difficult it was working with that rhythm of dialogue, such large chunks of dialogue, the fact that you're moving constantly and there's no obvious edits for Danny to...
Correct. Well, we sometimes had very, very long scenes. So the script is 187 pages long. For Michael Fassbender, it was like Hamlet times 2. He's on every single page and he speaks on every single page. So can you imagine that as a challenge for an actor? Some of the scenes would go on for 13, 14 pages, which means a kind of an 8 or 9 minute take, which is pretty long for a film, not the norm at all, which is why we had to really learn these lines inside out, back to front and upside down, because if you make a mistake, it's not just yourself you're getting, into a tangle, it's the other actor you're messing up, and also the Steadicam guy who's been carrying a big heavy Steadicam for the previous 8 minutes of a 9-minute take. So you really have to work together as a team, and it was honestly just amazing. We had to concentrate like crazy all the time. There was no room for going out and having one too many at the bar the night before. None of that. I mean, we all really behaved like nuns. In actual fact, I can tell you that there was once when Michael and I and all the other actors went out during the entire shoot and let our hair down. Otherwise, it was... get to bed as quickly as you can, make sure you know your lines, and see you in the morning.
Obviously, Aaron's known for his sort of walk and talk style, and that's very synonymous with Steve Jobs. That apparently was very much his way. How did that translate for you as an actor? Does that sort of kinetic movement make it more difficult? Does it actually help you as an actor to be able to sort of move forward?
I mean, I have to say, I liked the fact that, you know, the pace at which we physically move in the scene really goes hand in hand with the pace of the dialogue. And I, you know, in a way, that was a blessing, because sometimes it's very hard to sit extremely still and say dialogue at that pace, because then you're just trying to memorize dialogue. Whereas sometimes if you've got motion and there are specific things that you do, whether it's, you know, me handing someone a piece of paper from my clipboard and taking some notes in return and carrying on walking, I would always know exactly what piece of dialogue I said as I was handing over that sheet of paper, and what I would say in the moment that we moved off again. And often those tiny moments, whether it's an action, a repetitive action with a prop, or the one word that you say when you set off again down that corridor, that can affect the staging for absolutely everybody in the scene. So in a way, I didn't mind all of that busyness. It kind of almost helps you to remember certain things that you say at certain moments.
Thanks. And would you mind?
It's forensic. It's like crazy time. I mean, actually, even as I'm thinking about a scene that we shot in the corridor, I'm feeling slightly sick. Carry on.
Would you mind telling me that you spent time with the real Joanna, and also whether that puts pressure on you when you know you're playing somebody that you end up liking and know?
Well, I really like playing characters who either still exist or once did exist, because it's a great template to have. When Joanna and I spent time together, which we did spend quite a lot of time together, we were very careful to talk about Joanna Hoffman, the character, in the third person, because whilst this is based on her and this character has the same name, and I wanted to honour the essence of her and her dialect. She's Polish Armenian, grew up in Eastern Europe with a largely Russian speaking family. That is a dialect challenge, let me tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to make sure that I was honouring who she was in spirit, but also to honour the relationship that she had with Steve, which was largely built on a very intense platonic friendship and mutual respect that they had for each other, actually. And I wanted to make sure that as the actress playing the role, that I was able to almost use the character as a kind of a vessel for the audience and a means to get to a slightly more soulful, humane side of Steve Jobs that I think we often, as spectators, don't hear about or even know about. But the truth is, you know, he was a father. He was capable of being compassionate. He admitted when he was wrong. He even admitted his mistakes sometimes and his faults. But Joanna was able to stand up to him, and she really, really, truly did. I mean, not just in the film do you see that, but she herself tells me stories when she would really absolutely give him what for. And, you know, it's important in life to play those types of women, I think.
I must quickly ask you about Michael. Could you sort of sum up how amazing he is in very few words?
In very few words, to sum up Michael Fassbender playing Steve Jobs, I have never seen an actor behave in such a professional way, honestly, as Michael did, and he set the bar incredibly high for all of us. He was just head down, get on with it. No fuss, no bells and whistles. He just got on with it, and it was very, very, very hard for him. And I just have such admiration for him, and how he plays this role it's you know, it's very kind of unapologetic and sort of unforgiving too. He was very real. He didn't try and doctor anything about who he perceived Steve Jobs to be, and he, I think, spent the majority of the time that we were filming really trying to cement his own confidence in playing this role and having complete ownership of it. And he does that, nails it in spades. He's amazing.